you are NOT ready for this. I just woke up on the banks of the Nile 4,500 years in the past. See that giant thing far on the horizon? That is the Great Pyramid being built right now, and today I show you exactly how. Fishermen are already out at sunrise tossing their nets, and everyone here starts working before the sun even climbs into the sky. Stick with me the whole way because we are following one single stone from this river all the way to the pyramid's peak. We reach the harbor and oh my gosh, these wooden barges are packed with massive limestone blocks floated straight down the Nile. Watch these guys heave on the ropes. No engines, no cranes, just hundreds of arms dragging tons of stone off the boats. Careful, careful, that block is sliding right down the timber ramp, and if you stand in the way, you are absolutely done for. Every single stone gets logged and loaded onto wooden sledges here. This harbor never stops. It is total organized chaos, and I love it. Now we are at the limestone quarry, and listen to that sound. Hundreds of workers chipping away with copper chisels and wooden mallets. They cut deep channels around each block, then hammer in wet wooden wedges that swell and crack the stone clean out. Pure genius. The dust is everywhere and the sun is brutal, but these workers keep chipping in perfect rhythm. My whole body is shaking just watching. Each finished block weighs more than 2 tons, and it is already heading for the ramp. And come on, let's chase it up the hill. Okay, this is a totally different quarry up the river, and this is the red granite of Aswan. And look at that gigantic obelisk in the rock. There is no metal hard enough to cut this, so they pound it for weeks with these round dolerite balls, pure muscle and endless patience. Feel that heat shimmering off the red cliffs? It is like an oven out here, yet nobody stops swinging. These people are unstoppable legends. This single obelisk will stand taller than a 10-story building, and it is carved entirely by hand, and my mind is completely blown right now. Back at the pyramid, this is the big secret, a gigantic earthen ramp, and whole teams are dragging stone sledges straight up it. Watch that guy pour water on the sand in front of the sledge. It cuts the friction in half, so the huge stone glides way easier. The overseer is yelling out the rhythm and waving his banner, and every worker pulls on the exact same beat. Heave, heave, heave. There it goes over the top. One more block locked into the pyramid, and there are literally millions more to go. Can you even believe it? Down on the flat track, they use wooden rollers under the sledge, logs laid out like a moving carpet right under the heavy stone. See how they grab the log from the back and run it to the front? The stone basically rolls forward forever. Such a clever ancient trick. The foreman is banging a drum to keep everyone in sync, and honestly, this rhythm is so hypnotic, I kind of want to join the pulling team. Whoa, the block is passing right by me. The ground is literally trembling under my feet, and the dust is getting into absolutely everything. Let's take a breather in the workers' village. No, these are not slaves. They are paid workers with homes, families, and real days off. Look at the kids running around and the laundry drying between the mud brick houses. This is a whole living, breathing little town. You can smell the ovens from here, and everyone is chatting in the shade. After a brutal day hauling stone, this place is pure home. Thousands of people live right next to the pyramid, so they never waste time traveling. Smart little city planning 4,000 years early. Follow me into the bakery. Look at these hundreds of clay molds baking bread in the fire pits, feeding an entire army of hungry workers. And over here, they are brewing beer in these huge vats. Workers actually got paid partly in bread and beer. Best salary ever, honestly. The heat and steam in here is unreal, and those sacks of grain just keep coming and coming. This kitchen never, ever shuts down. 10,000 loaves a day come out of this one place. No bread and beer means no pyramid, so these bakers are total secret heroes. Now the open kitchen, watch them grilling fresh Nile fish and vegetables over the coals, and my stomach is growling so loud right now. Piles of warm flatbread, bowls of onions, garlic, and figs. The workers ate way better than you would ever expect for a building site. Look at this line of hungry workers waiting for their share, and everyone gets fed here. Nobody swings a hammer on an empty stomach. The smell of grilled fish and fresh bread is driving me insane. Honestly, ancient Egyptian street food might be my brand new favorite thing. Over in the shade, the scribes are running the whole show. They are writing on papyrus, tracking every single block that arrives on site. And they count deliveries, rations, and worker teams. And these guys were basically the accountants and project managers of the entire ancient world. Watch that scribe dip his reed pen and jot numbers down so fast. Being able to read and write made you seriously powerful back then. Every basket here is stuffed with records, and thanks to these scribes, we actually know how the whole pyramid was organized. History nerds rejoice. Into the smithy now, feel that heat. They are melting copper and hammering out the very chisels that carve every single stone block. Sparks are flying right past my face and the whole place glows orange, and this is where all of those quarry tools are actually born. Those leather bellows pump air to make the fire hotter, and the smiths sharpen the tools over and over because soft copper goes blunt so fast. Look at this whole wall of chisels, saws, and drills. Without this one hot little workshop, the entire pyramid project just grinds to a halt. The carpentry yard. These workers are building the wooden sledges that carry every giant stone. No sledges means no moving anything, simple as that. They are also carving big wooden levers to nudge blocks into place inch by inch. A good lever turns one man into 10. Beautiful engineering. Mallets, rollers, levers, sledges. Basically, the entire ancient toolkit is made right here, and the smell of fresh cut rope central. Watch them twisting palm fiber and papyrus into these massive ropes strong enough to drag multi-tone stones up the ramp. These coils are longer than a football field, and if one snaps under load, someone could really get hurt. So the quality has to be perfect. The women are weaving reeds and fibers side by side with everyone else, and this whole project truly took the entire community working together. The ropes dry out here in the sun, and honestly, the whole pyramid basically hangs on these humble little strands of twisted plants. Hey, this is the moment. We are right at the base of the Great Pyramid, and these blocks are stacked up like a giant staircase. Look how tiny the workers look against these stones. Thousands of them are swarming over this thing like one unstoppable human machine. They are levering this block into position with millimeter precision, and the stones fit so tight you cannot even slide a knife blade between them. I have to crane my neck all the way back just to see the top edge, and it is not even finished yet. This scale is absolutely insane. We climbed halfway up, and the view is unreal, and teams are still dragging heavy blocks up these terraces one brutal step at a time. Turn around with me, you can see the whole Giza plateau, the other pyramids, and the golden desert stretching out literally forever. See those other pyramids over there? Whole generations of families spent their entire lives building this royal skyline stone by stone. The wind up here is whipping so hard it is throwing sand right into the camera, but I honestly cannot stop staring at this incredible view. Now for the magic finishing touch. They are polishing these bright white Tura limestone casing stones until they shine like smooth glass. When it was finished, the pyramid was covered entirely in these gleaming white stones, so the whole thing blazed like a mirror in the sun. Watch them rub the surface smooth with just sand and stone, and the dust is glittering in the light, and these stones are absolutely flawless. Imagine a mountain of pure white stone shining so bright you could see it from miles away across the desert. That is what they are building. And here is the crown jewel, the pyramidion, the very tip-top stone, and the artisans are covering it in shimmering gold and electrum. Look how it catches the sunlight. This golden cap will sit at the very peak, so the whole pyramid literally sparkles up toward the sky. The priests inspect every single inch because this stone is sacred. It is the point where the earth reaches up to touch the sun god himself. Getting this heavy golden block all the way up to the summit is going to be the ultimate challenge, and my heart is pounding just thinking about it. Let's step into the mortuary temple beside the pyramid. Look up at these towering painted columns. The colors are honestly unbelievably vivid. Every wall is carved with hieroglyphs telling the pharaoh's story, and back then all this stone was painted in brilliant reds, blues, and golds. The priests are burning incense and making offerings, and this temple will keep the pharaoh's spirit alive and well-fed for all of eternity. The floor is polished so smooth I can see my own reflection, and everything here is built to last literally forever, and kind of it really has. Come see this, they are carving the Great Sphinx straight out of the solid bedrock, and that giant stone face is already staring back at us. The sculptors are hanging off these wooden scaffolds, chipping away at a lion's body with a human head, and it is absolutely gigantic up close. This whole thing is carved from one enormous chunk of natural rock. And imagine standing here and slowly watching the Sphinx will sit here guarding these pyramids for thousands of years. And honestly, standing in its shadow gives me full body chills. We went underground into a tomb chamber, and these artists are painting the walls with the most stunning hieroglyphs and gods I have ever seen. They work by the glow of little oil lamps down here, mixing rich blue and gold pigments from crushed minerals, real ancient masterpieces. Every picture is a spell or a story meant to guide the pharaoh safely into the afterlife, and this is not just art.
It is cool and quiet down here after all that noise outside, and watching these bright colors appear on the wall is genuinely magical.
Back inside the pyramid, this is the Grand Gallery, and they are hauling a huge granite block up this steep, polished ramp with thick ropes. Look how the walls step inward as they rise. It is called corbelling, and it holds up all the crushing weight of the stone above us. The only light is these flickering torches, and the sound of the workers straining echoes through the whole passage. It is honestly a little spooky. That granite block is sliding higher and higher toward the burial chamber, and one slip on this slope would be a total disaster. Hold on tight. We reach the very heart of the pyramid, the burial chamber, and there sits the great stone sarcophagus, waiting for the pharaoh himself. The walls are lined with gold and treasures meant to travel with the king into the next life, and the glinting in this torchlight is breathtaking. The priests move so quietly and carefully in here. This is the most sacred and most protected room in the entire kingdom, no doubt about it. Just think, all those millions of stones, all that endless work, all of it points to this one silent little room deep inside the mountain. Everybody stop! The pharaoh himself has arrived to inspect the pyramid, carried high on a golden chair by his very strongest guards. Look at the fan bearers, the guards, the musicians. The whole site has frozen in total awe, and honestly, so have I. This is so surreal. Everyone is bowing as he passes, and the gold on his regalia is blinding in the sun. And this is the living God they are built. He gives a single nod of approval and the entire crowd erupts. After years of backbreaking work, that one tiny nod means absolutely everything. We made it. I climbed all the way to the summit of the almost finished pyramid, and I am completely out of breath, but it is so worth it. Look at this. The whole golden desert, the Nile glittering like a ribbon, the sun sinking low. This might be the best view on the entire planet. The workers up here are cheering because the final stones are almost in place. Years of impossible labor finally coming together right now. The sky is on fire with orange and pink. The golden cap is glowing above us. I genuinely have goosebumps. This is history in the making. Down by the river, the whole city is throwing a massive festival to celebrate. Dancers spinning, drums pounding, everybody is going absolutely wild. Bonfires blazing, flower garlands everywhere, decorated boats out on the water. After all that work, these people really know how to celebrate. Come dance with them. Musicians on harps and drums, everyone laughing and singing under the stars. This energy is so contagious, I love it. And that is how a pyramid is born, from one river stone all the way to the Golden Peak. Thank you for exploring with me. See you next time. Bye.